folks, how are we doing today? It's Andrew down here at C. Harper Kia, and it's a very exciting day because the all-new compact 2025 Kia K4 sedan has finally landed. This is the Forte replacement that has been much anticipated to hit the Kia model lineup, and I'm going to show you everything that you get standard on the LXS model today. So let's hop right into it. So starting up front here on the K4, as you can see, we have all new exterior styling, and like any of the other new Kia models, well, we have some pretty cool exterior elements here, most notably with these orange daytime running lights that you see in the headlights here. And speaking of the headlights, of course they are LED reflector style standard on the LXS model here. They kind of reflect the vision we're seeing in the rest of the Kia lineup, specifically with the SUVs, where we kind of have this vertical stack of headlights here. These are our low beams, and then of course our high beam is that third cluster there on the bottom. Besides that, on the front end, and everything else is a pretty clean look. We have a very simple grille up here with a little bit of bright work right below our Kia emblem right here. We do have this square spot right here for our radar, adaptive cruise control, and safety assist systems on this model. But as we come around to the side, as you can see, this morning mist color is beautiful. It's kind of one of these new non-metallic colors that are pretty popular, almost in the range of a pastel color. I think it really looks fantastic. It is going to be a pretty nice option that you get on this model. Now, speaking of what's standard on this LXS model, we do have these 16-inch graphite painted alloy wheels standard for this trim level. I really like the design, kind of have that nice twist motion look to them, and I really appreciate that even with the 16-inch wheel here, you do get an alloy wheel option. On some of the other competitors, say like the Honda Civic, that would only come with our hubcap wheel covers and our steel wheels. This one, it's kind of nice. You do get your alloy wheel, and you have your lower running costs of this vehicle because tires are going to be a little less expensive versus a 18-inch or some larger type wheel. Now, of course, looking at the side profile of this K4, and boy, it really does not look like a compact sedan you see before. Kind of has more of a sloped hatchback style, liftback style roof line. And then of course we also have the contrast of this very square rear window here on the third quarter panel. Just a very unique look. I'll let you be the judge of whether you think it's a nice design or something that you prefer, but let's just say it's not something that we've traditionally seen in the compact sedan segment. Now, as we come around to the rear end of the K4, once again, of course, all new styling. And if you've seen the K5, well, then these rear taillights are going to look pretty similar as well. Of course, they are LED standard, so it doesn't matter what K4 trim level you get, you're going to have these beautiful LED lights, these daytime running lights that kind of go up here, which is very nice. As you can see, of course, we do have our brake lights in this kind of really unique look down here at the bottom of here. And of course we have our rear view camera and our button to open the trunk. We do have our smart trunk function on this LXS model, so I'll insert a video clip of it here. Now, this is the smart entry that you get on the Kia K4 for 2025 on the GT line. So this vehicle is locked currently. I have the key on my person now, but I'm not hitting any buttons. As you can see, it's beeping a couple times, and then boom, the trunk automatically opens. Now, it doesn't open completely, unfortunately, but it does pop up nice and easy. Still nice either way. You do have to close it manually though, unfortunately. All right, and as we come around to the exterior just a little bit more, of course, you might be noticing, hey, Andrew, I only see one door handle on this vehicle. And you would be right, because only the front driver and passenger door handles are like a traditional style, where to get into the rear of the K4, we have our handle integrated up in near the window area, which is pretty unique. Now, of course, overall, the K4 is a larger vehicle versus the Forte that it is replacing. Now, larger, not large. This isn't a huge vehicle. It's still within a compact sedan size. It's still pretty close to its cousin, the Hyundai Elantra. But, you know, it's always nice to have a little bit more room, a little bit more width. In fact, this does have the largest second row interior legroom space versus all of the compact sedan segment. Now taking a look at our exterior mirrors here on this LXS model, they are paint matched, of course, no just black hard covers on here. We also have our blind spot monitoring system on the LXS trim level here, and along with our heated exterior mirrors, which is very nice as well. And before we take a look at the interior on this all new K4, well, we do have our smart key system with this vehicle. So here is our key fob right here with remote start, which is very nice as well. Kind of that new Kia modern design, but you just simply hit this button and it'll unlock the door here. And once we unlock the door here, as you can see, we have this all new, thoroughly updated interior here on the K4. And my goodness, I think it looks quite fantastic. You have these really comfortable looking seats. If we pan over here to our door panel, we do have a little bit more of our harder touch materials on the upper door trim right here. But when we get into this gray area, we do have a nice soft touch material right here into our automatic window controls for our driver window right here. If you do want that on your passenger, you're going to have to step up to the EX model. Have a nice door handle and that kind of aluminum look, and some storage space down here for a water bottle or some other thin accessories as well. We do have our speaker growth here for our 6-speaker stereo system that you get standard in the LXS model. Let's take a seat and I'm going to show you a little bit more of the all new interior. And taking a seat in the all-new interior on this 2025 K4 GT line, well, it is very impressive. If you've seen some of the other vehicles in this compact class, I think this really knocks it out of the park. Not to really discredit any of their comfortable and usable interiors, but this one is very technology forward, has a great modern look, and it's honestly pretty functional to use as well. So starting over here, of course, we do have our all-new steering wheel on this K4 model, which is a little bit, it's kind of weird, you know, being a 2-spoke design. It's a little more flat up top and on the bottom here where you can rest your hands. Although, of course, we do always recommend 2 hands on the steering wheel here. One odd note to feature is our Kia emblem, which is a little bit right justified instead of centered on here. I know some people are going to write a comment about that, so let me know, how do you feel about that? But on the steering wheel here, we have a ton of controls. Of course, we have our audio controls on the right-hand side and our different modes to cycle through FM, Sirius XM, etc. It's real easy to turn up the volume with our scroll wheel here, which I love. Just super easy to do that on the fly. Of course, on the left-hand side here, we do have our cruise control system. It is a adaptive cruise control with stop and go. Of course, we do also have our Kia lane centering system here, so that'll kind of almost autonomously keep the vehicle within the center of the lane. And then on this LXS model, something that you get standard on this vehicle versus the LX model is our drive mode selector here. So if I take a look and hit that button, only 2 drive modes, normal and sport mode. Sport mode will basically just kind of increase the throttle input on this vehicle with that 2-liter motor. Okay, now, of course, the main talking point about this beautiful K4 interior has to be this center display. So we have our 4-inch driver's information display here in the middle. You have a couple different color themes you can cycle through in here. I kind of have it on this amber one right here. You can cycle through some different information on this area right here. And if we move over here, this is our 12.3-inch infotainment screen on this model. Finally, we have wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, which is very nice. Once again, this is backed up with a 6-speaker sound system, which is the best amount of speakers that you can get on this model. It's the same no matter if you're in the LXS or the EX model, if you're upgrading into the higher trim level. As you can see, very snappy, nice graphics with this model. Very simple and easy to use. And what I really like is you kind of have these redundant controls beneath it as well. So I have my Apple CarPlay hooked up to it. As you can see, we have our map button right here. There's no integrated navigation, but we still hit that. And boom, look, I'm right into my Google Maps via my phone connection through Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Of course, we do have our different features as well. Our media, our FM, Sirius XM is standard on this LXS model as well. Bluetooth, so forth and so forth. Real easy to use. We do have another scroll wheel for our volume right here. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I feel like you have to reach a little bit too far to get that. I would almost prefer it to be down here, but quite honestly, if you're the driver, you can really just easily use the scroll wheel on the steering wheel to prefer that. Beneath our infotainment controls here, of course, is our HVAC system. So we just have a nice center line with our vents, real easy to use. They feel nice and high quality. Of course, our emergency lights in the middle here. And then we do have more HVAC controls beneath that. Real easy to use, just simple rocker switches here. Can kind of go up and down on our temperature and our zones, of course. Now on the higher trim levels, that will move up into this center area here, as seen on some of our other Kia vehicles. But even on this LX and LXS models, super easy to use. Really love the functionality. Going beneath that, of course, we have our charging options on this vehicle. 2 USB-C charging outlets here, which is very nice. Have a nice center area to put in your phone or other storage things right there, which is really cool. Beneath that, we do have our engine start stop button, so we'll just hit that and that'll fire this K4 to life. Of course, we do have a very traditional looking gear selector right here for our IVT transmission. We have our auto hold function, so what that will do is when you come up to when you come up to a red light, you can just take your foot off the brake and it'll hold it automatically. You don't have to keep your foot on the brake pedal like I am right now. And we have our button to control our cameras. So here's our rear view camera on the K4. Real nice, high quality, looks great in my opinion. And one other thing to note, with the LXS, we do get our rear cross traffic collision advanced assist system. So if you're backing up your K4 and you can't really see, but another car is coming down the street, it'll automatically warn you and apply the brakes, which is a very nice function as well. Now, of course, behind that, we do have our cup holders and our center console. Look at the amount of space you get with cup holders on this vehicle. I think it's quite impressive. You can get a large Gatorade bottle, for example, on here, or if you want to tighten them up for some beverages that might be a little bit narrower and you don't want them to fly everywhere, just hit those buttons and that'll give you a nice little more control right here. In our center console, we do have a nice soft touch material and just a nice additional amount of space. No charging options right there. Taking a look at the headliner of this K4 GT line, of course, we do have a gray headliner. Personally, I would prefer it to be a black headliner, but that's okay. That looks fine right here. We do have our LED interior illumination. They are touch activated, so no physical button, but real easy to just turn those on and off. And then, of course, our Kia Connect and our emergency SOS functionality as well. And finally, before we head to the back, just here on the left side of the vehicle, we do have our dimmer switch, our traction control, and of course, our emergency parking brake just on and off, hitting that little rocker panel right there. And popping open into the rear, we do have those really funky door handles right here. Nice wide opening on this K4, so if you are putting in child seats or the like, it's real easy to get them in and out of here. As you can see, we have this nice cloth material that's running through in the back here. It's actually pretty soft. The EX model will get you a different, more higher premium quality cloth, they call it, but honestly, I'm very satisfied with the what you get just on this GT line model. Taking a seat back here, as you can see, plenty of space here, really roomy and comfortable. No center storage pockets behind here, just kind of that hard look, but that's okay. We do have 2 USB-C charging outlets beneath here on this little center console area, and I suppose just a little bit of storage if you want to throw something in here. But really, tons of available space back here. It's very comfortable. Like I said, largest rear legroom that you get in this compact class here as well. And of course, we have one more look at that all-new instrument panel that you get on this K4. Really impressive looking. Now, coming around to the trunk on the K4, simply hit that button or use the smart entry system. We have a very nice amount of space here for our rear cargo room. It's really nice and wide. We also do get a compact spare tire on the K4 standard, which many will appreciate. No fix-a-flat kit on this model. And of course, when you upgrade to the GT line, you do get the ability to have our 60/40 split folding rear seats. So you won't get that standard on the LX model, but you do get that with the LXS, adding in even more space. And it's really nice because you control it. If you want a little bit of cargo and a passenger seat, you have that option with the LXS. Now let's talk about power and fuel economy on the K4. So this is equipped with our 2-liter 4-cylinder motor with 147 horsepower. It certainly isn't going to light the streets up with any supercar performance, but it's a pretty nice amount of power. I'm going to get it out on the road here soon and show you what that's like. And all K4s for 2025 are hooked up with our IVT, which is pretty much a continuously variable transmission. Kia just does theirs just slightly different. However, with this 2-liter motor, we do get some pretty fantastic fuel economy. So with this K4 GT line, we get 29 miles per gallon city, 39 miles per gallon highway, leading to a combined fuel economy rating of 33 miles per gallon. And finally, let's talk about pricing. Now, there's no hidden fact that the K4 is more expensive than the Forte that it's replacing. However, if you compare it to the class, it is still one of the most affordable options you can get. So, of course, this is the K4 LXS when you get all of our features that you get with the LXS model and our destination. Our final manufacturer suggested retail price comes out to only $24,320. All right, let's take this Kia K4 GT line on a quick little spin up the road. Hit our engine start stop button right there, and you can hear that 2-liter roar to life. I'm going to show you just a little bit about the driving dynamics on this K4 and the quietness that they've improved versus the previous generation Forte. All right, let's head out onto the highway here in the Kia K4. Giving it a little throttle there as we head up to around the speed limit here of 50 miles per hour. And in my first impression, this vehicle is a lot quieter than the K4 than the Forte that it is replacing. The engine is quieter. The wind noise in here is quieter. Just feels very nice. The 2-liter going up a hill here, you know, not the most powerful engine in the world that I've experienced, but still plenty of get up and go through that IVT transmission, kind of giving those simulated shifts you would get with an actual torque converted automatic transmission. Of course, we do have our lane centering system here, so I'll just enable that hitting this button right here, keep my hands on the wheel, and it'll kind of navigate us down the center of this highway here, just nice and straight. We do have our adaptive cruise control as well with this. And one of my favorite features on the adaptive cruise control with this K4 is it will bring you to a complete stop. You don't see that on all systems anymore. So this is a little bit nicer. As you can see, I'm not really adding any input right here. The car is kind of steering itself. You know, I still have my hand still in control of the vehicle, but it's doing a lot of the leg work for me. Or I guess I should say the hand work, but you know what I mean. Yeah, very impressed with the lack of road noise that you get on this. It's kind of a gamble sometimes in this compact segment, but this seems really nice and refined. I'm very much enjoying the sound or lack thereof road noise and wind noise that you're getting with this. Really, the just overall, what they would call the NVH on this vehicle, the noise vibration harshness, has seemed to be a lot more refined versus what was found in the previous Forte. Ride quality on the all-new K4 seems improved as well. It's a pretty soft suspension, very nice and comfortable. Going over a few bumps here just feels really nice and refined. A little bit punching above its $24,000 MSRP weight, in my opinion. And as you can see, we're kind of just effortlessly wafting down the road here. The engine doesn't seem too stressed. You know, we do live in hilly Pennsylvania here. We're not on a flat road. And this vehicle is revving up and down, of course, but honestly, it doesn't feel too stressed going up and down these hills, maintaining a nice solid 60 miles per hour. There's another nice bump there. Yeah, very nice, soft, supple ride. I'm very impressed. Kia has been improving their ride quality on a bunch of their new models here, and this K4 is no different. Just a very nice, comfortable car. I definitely would recommend you test drive this new K4 and see what it's like in person. We even do have some Fortes on the lot, which, you know, not like they rode terrible or anything, but this is just, I think, a little bit more of a mature vehicle and kind of worth justifying the bit of a more increased price that you're getting. All right, we're gonna turn off here. Another thing to note on modern Kia vehicles is how nice the input controls feel on that. These turn signals, your wiper stalk, they all have a nice indentation, a nice weight to them. Very easy to use, and you know, they feel high quality, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. Everything about this is high quality. Now, as you can see, my foot's off the brake and it is holding us here. It's reminding me, hey, idiot, you're at a stop sign. That car in front of you is going, so maybe pay attention, which is a nice feature to have, of course, as well. Let's hop back on the highway here. Head back to C. Harper Kia, where we want to see you in one of these new K4s. And we're going to get a little bit more acceleration for you folks right here. Certainly making a little bit more noise there, of course, but once you get up to speed here, right around 50, 55, the speed limit in this area on this section of the highway, real easy to just kind of get up to speed here. Now, this motor, it doesn't particularly like being revved up, of course, but if you do have to, it'll be fine. Like I've said, of course, it is a bit quieter than we've had on our previous Forte and other models. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any music to play in the stereo system that is not copyrighted. I should do that sometime, put that on my phone. However, the stereo system that I've experienced myself, this 6-speaker unit, is very nice. Has a decent amount of bass to it. Nothing super tinny or like that you would expect on more of an entry-level car. All right. Coming up to a little red light here. Get a little more acceleration and we'll pull back in and wrap this video up. As you can see, auto holds on, my foot's off. My foot's now on, but really makes it a nice relaxed experience when you're kind of hitting that stop and go traffic. Yeah, see, acceleration right there from a red light, just pretty effortless, revved up a little bit, did some simulated shifting. It's not really drony unless you're just completely flooring this K4. I've got to say, I'm pretty impressed. I would recommend, if you are interested in the K4, definitely go and take this bad boy on a bit of a spin. It's very mature. It's very upscale. Maybe not luxury feeling. That would be doing it a bit of a disservice, but just a very nice model overall. Compare this to the Corolla, compare it to the Civic, gosh, what else is out there? The Sentra, the Mazda 3. I think you're going to come away pretty impressed with the K4, especially with the value. That's what Kia always nails better than almost any other manufacturer. It's just the value for money. So even though, hate to keep harping on this, that this is a bit more of an expensive vehicle versus the Forte. Of course, everything does seem to go up in price nowadays. I think the value on this is really here. You get the technology with this touchscreen radio and our digital display here. You get the nice ride quality, the beautiful, you get the nice ride quality. You get really decent fuel economy. And of course, all of this is backed up with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty through Kia. So if you plan on keeping this a while, well, you're gonna have that as well. Side note to our viewers, that is a Bighorn Power Wagon. Not something that you can configure, but hey, make your own. Sure, why not? Real truck guys, shout out if you understand what I'm talking about. Slow down here. As you can see, our speed limit already picking that up, even on a non-traditional sign that has a radar attachment to it. It is saying, hey buddy, you're going into a work zone. Let's slow this K4 down, make sure everyone is safe. All right, and we're pulling right back up here to C. Harper Auto Group. And yeah, final takeaways. I think I already summed it up before. K4, really nice model, thoroughly improved. Forte was a very good model, a very popular model, of course. But this K4 adds to that. It's quieter, smoother, still just as efficient, and you have even more technology on this model. Really, I think there's a lot to love with the K4. So if you are interested in one of these vehicles, you don't even have to buy it from us. These are just informative videos. Do definitely go and check one out. I think you're going to be impressed. All right, let's shut this down. Nice and easy. There's our exit off screen, of course. Yeah, very nice ride here in the 2024 Kia K4. Nice and simple to lock, of course. Here it is against the previous Forte, although they are not parked similarly, so that Forte is looking a little bit larger. But yeah, very impressive car. Do check it out if you're interested in this K4, and be sure to check us out online at charperkia.net. Thanks for watching.